Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, friends. Sorry.
You're able to see my screen as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, so once you launch a PySpark CLI, so it will be look like this. Okay, so it will say welcome to the Spark version, and what is the Python version you are using. And you see there's a message saying PySpark session is available as Spark. Actually, there is a class called PySpark session. Okay, so the PySpark session is the class which will help you to connect to the Spark cluster and run your Spark code. So without PySpark session, we cannot actually run your Spark code. Okay, so so for that PySpark session, you need to create an object. So when you launch a PySpark, the PySpark CLI itself automatically creating an object for you and giving it as a variable name called Spark. So that's what this final the line says. The PySpark session is available as a Spark means for this class the object is created in the name of Spark. So I can just go and say Spark dot app name. So app name is one of the property. So okay, print of Spark. Inside Spark context is this. Okay, so PySpark has one property means one PySpark has property called Spark context. So before Spark 2.x, like now PySpark session is used to create a used to connect to Spark cluster. Earlier version of Spark as a Spark context. Now Spark context okay, now Spark context also available part of Spark session and which has a property called app name. And when you create a Spark application, you just give the application name using an application name property. So now when we launched from Spark PySpark CLI, our application name is actually says PySpark. I'm sorry for the background noise. So you can access the app name using this command. Okay. Now the things you need to know is with the Spark, the Spark variable, which is the object name actually, which is gives you a Spark session object. So the see here when you type Spark, it says Spark session object. So with this, you can do all your PySpark code. So example, I just create a first just uh, number list. I just create a Python list saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now number underscore list is a number list. It's a Python object. We want to know the type of it. Right, it is a Python list. Now, if you want to work like if you want to process this list with a Spark code, which is Spark, if you want to use Spark functions, you need to so Spark functions cannot be applied on the Python object, right? You need to convert this into the Spark object, PySpark object. So how do you convert? So in PySpark, I told you that we have something called RDD, Resilient Distributed Data Set. Okay. So what is RDD is nothing but the expansion is Resilient Distributed Data Set. Okay, RDD. Okay. So RDD is nothing but resilient distributed data set. So which is a collection object or collection data type in Spark. Okay, like how we have a list in Python. You can, if you want to just for just simplicity purpose, you can think of as a list is a collection or data structure in Python. Similarly, RDD is also another collection or data structure in Spark, PySpark. Okay, so it is also going to hold the list of elements. Like list is holding a list of elements. Similarly, RDD can hold a list of elements. Okay, so RDD is a core API. Okay, so in Spark, RDD is a core API. So later they introduced Spark data frame and Spark SQL and all. Okay. So if you want to convert, so because I cannot apply Spark APIs on the Python object, right? So I have to convert this into RDD, then I can apply the functions on RDD. Okay. So how do you convert your Python list into RDD? I'll just say, just give the variable name as numList underscore RDD equal to Spark dot. So before that, I will tell you DAR. You can just give the Spark session object name. So it gives you list of functions. So these are the functions available in a Spark session object. Okay. So functions as well as the properties. Okay. So I am going to use this Spark's context property. Say example numList underscore RDD is a variable name. I'm just giving my variable name. It can be anything. Okay. So then I'll say Spark session object. So this is what I have it now. Then it has a property called Spark context. Okay, which has a function called parallelize. So if you want to know that, you can just type Spark context. See here, it gives me again list of properties and functions. So there is a function called parallelize. Okay, so this will help you to convert your Python object into PySpark object, like which is RDD in this case. So I'm going to use this. RDD equal to Spark dot parallelize of I'll just pass my Python object. So now it has given me a RDD. So if you just test, it says parallel collection RDD. Okay, and you can using type also you can check. It's a PySpark RDD. It says, okay, it's RDD. It's not a Python object anymore. It's a PySpark object. So now we can apply the functions. Okay, so in RDD, okay, there are two type of functions. One is the transformation functions, another is the action functions. Okay, so we will understand in detail so tomorrow. Okay, so okay, I'll just tell you one function. If you want to see the data in RDD, okay, I can use the function called collect. Okay, so it is just showing me the getting the data or printing the data whichever there in the RDD. Okay, so collect is the one of the RDD action function. So I'm told you Spark as RDD has two types of operations are two type of functions. One is the action functions, and is the transformation functions. Okay, so collect is one of the action function which will give you the output of your RDD. Whatever the content is there in the RDD, it will give you. Okay, so I will give you a detailed explanation about what is transformation, what is action in RDD. Okay, we'll discuss tomorrow in detail. So now what at least in this session, what I want to convey is you need to understand just basically what is Spark. Okay, so what are the other what are the libraries Spark has, like Spark SQL, Spark Streaming, and MLlib. So how to install a Spark and how to open a PySpark CLI, and then write code, write a PySpark code on a CLI and understand. So that's what I want to just keep it very simple this session. Tomorrow we will explore about Spark RDD, and once we learn few things on Spark RDD, so then we will on a CLI we will try some few examples. Once we are comfortable, then we will actually develop a PySpark application using PyCharm. That's what you do in when you go to real time. Okay, so you will not always work on the CL, right? So you will work on a PyCharm like IDEs. Even like other IDEs also people may use, but PyCharm is the one of the widely used IDE for developing your Python application as well as PySpark application. Do you have any other questions? That's what I planned for today.
Very one simple question.
Yeah.
This Spark is the object, right? Normally, object will have method and this one, right?
Properties. Properties.
But you are giving dot. What does it mean? Sometimes you have to give. It should be single dot only, right?
Yeah. Dot. Yes. Dot only. Basically, that's a. When you want to access your properties of function, we are using dot only, single dot.
Okay. No. But I am asking if it is a. Suppose we are accessing method, so it will be like object dot method name, right?
Yeah.
If it is a normal data, then object dot data name, or something. But
yeah,
we are
properties.
giving double dot here, right?
So basically,
Spark.
So okay, why I use double dot here? Spark, this Spark variable is the one object variable. Okay, so it's a it's an object of Spark session. Okay, it has one property called Spark context, which is actually another object.
Oh, okay.
The Spark context is the another object of Spark context. There is a okay. So if you just so if you look at here, Spark context itself, there is one more class is there. Okay. That Spark context class object for the Spark context class is created and which is available inside the Spark session. So from I access the from the Spark session object, I access the Spark context object. This Spark context object has a method called parallelize.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because I'm not from object-oriented background.
So okay. No issues. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Pari, can you share this installation document we'll try?
Yeah. So I'm going to share 2 videos with the notepad. Any other questions?
For installing this one, we don't need Hadoop, right? We can install on Windows till this point.
Yeah, we can install. But these steps are for actually Linux.
Okay. Yeah.
Windows also almost the same. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so I'm just closing today's session. We'll sync up tomorrow morning. I just please install this Spark and just try to launch PySpark at least, whether it is working or not. Anyway, we'll discuss more in detail more tomorrow. Surendra, you have any other question?
No, I'm good, buddy.
Okay. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you.